September 11th is a date that many of us will remember with pain and disdain for the actions of some very inhumane representatives of humanity. The attacks on September 11th hurt me, and I was nowhere physically near it when it all happened. It's weird because I still think about it a lot, and I only say that's weird because you would probably wonder, why does he think about something that gives him pain? Well, I can't fully explain it, I just feel like there was no real justice that was done in the end. Only more pain in the world. But anyway, it's no good to focus on that train of thought, so I will get to the point of this video, which will describe something I do each and every year that I'm uploading to this channel. And I call it the Dr. Kendo September 11th Project. The main premise is that every September, I'll be donating a big portion of my YouTube channel earnings to a different charity each year. Last year was the WWF, World Wildlife Fund, where we quote-unquote adopted Scribble, the red panda. You guys picked the animal by popular vote, and you guys also picked the name. Scribble the red panda is now a part of Kendopolis, and I just thank you so much for your participation in last year's September 11th project. Something like this, I feel, can at least inject some positive vibes into a day of sadness. We don't ever have to forget the sadness or the pain, but a project like mine makes me feel like I am instead choosing to do something good, perhaps squelching the ideals of those who like to hurt others. And I've got almost 9 times as many subscribers as I had last September 11th, so we're gonna give big this year. Okay, so what charity will we donate to this time around? Well, the very first year I did this project, I donated to the Red Cross. It seemed only right to do the donation there that year. Then, of course, as I said, the World Wildlife Fund was last year. So the first charity was kind of a worldly, often human-oriented cause. And last year, the second year, was for the animals, and through the help and participation of all of you members of Kendopolis out there. And this year will be about one specific cause that has very special meaning to me, and hopefully to others. It was something I witnessed firsthand this summer, back in June. As anyone who knows me well will remember, I love animals and nature. We'll be continuing to give back to them this year, but again, in a very specific way. This last June, after E3, I went down to South Padre Island here in Texas with my wife, Mrs. Kendo. I did something that I have always wanted to do before I die. We helped to save baby sea turtle hatchlings. So now, enter! The charity we'll be donating to this year for the Dr. Kendo September 11th Project 2015, Sea Turtle Inc. They're an amazing non-profit entity that rescues, rehabilitates, and releases injured sea turtles while educating the public and assisting with conservation efforts for all marine turtle species. I mean, it's incredibly sad to read some of the stories that Mrs. Kendo and I read while we visited Sea Turtle Inc. back in June. There are these little plaques next to the sea turtle tanks that described how the organization found each of the turtles and what its story is. Of course, many of them are planned for release back into the ocean, but some of them have circumstances that sadly do not allow the turtle to be released. Sea Turtle Inc. has done some incredible work building prosthetic fins or flippers for turtles who have lost one or more of them. They've extracted plastic bags that beachgoers will litter and throw aside. You know, the turtles perceive the plastic bags to be jellyfish, which some species want to eat, of course. And then they can't digest the bags and it's just awful. But this really hurts me to know that this is happening. And so the least that I feel I can do is to help educate everyone and give my donation to Sea Turtle Inc. this year. I've got some kind of shoddy footage from a GoPro that was strapped to my head when we were rescuing the little hatchlings this summer. That was an amazing experience, of course. Sea Turtle Inc. allows the public to attend hatchling releases, where they send the babies on their merry way into the ocean, and the public who attends, like my wife and I, basically form a wall so that the sea turtles will know where to go, i.e. straight forward towards the light and not go wander off into the rest of the beach where they could be eaten by seagulls or otherwise. The human wall also works to scare off predators and of course just to experience such a beautiful burst of new marine life into our world. So the Sea Turtle Inc. website and otherwise basically any of their adoption or donation options, they allow for multiple different types of donations. So for instance, one of them is a resident adoption where you can get a certificate of the adoption, the resident's story, a little magnet, and of course the name of the person giving the donation, or the entity in this case, will be listed on the Sea Turtle Inc. website, and the proceeds for that basically go to help fund food, tank maintenance, and general care for that particular adopted resident. I'm sure it's obvious, but resident means one of the turtles. They also have a patient adoption, where you get a lot of those other same things, but that donation basically helps to purchase medication and supplies and any sort of things that they need for the rehab patients. Again, this is turtles. And then another interesting adoption you can do is a hatchling adoption. So this basically gives the money for the program that puts on what me and Mrs. Kendo saw, where you see the little hatchling baby turtles go into the ocean adoption for the first time. And so with that, it comes with a certificate and the magnet and some cool stuff like, you know, your name and entity listed on the website again. But you also get to choose your own hatchling name. So that's what I will leave up to all of you in Kendopolis out there. I'm thinking that we're going to do each of those adoptions, but since we get to name one of the little hatchling turtles, there will be a turtle with our name on it. So I'm going to get your opinions. Write them down in the comments, and what would you want to name the little hatchling sea turtle? Just think, it's a baby Kemp's Ridley sea turtle. You can name it something gaming related, you could name it something Kendopolis or Dr. Kendo related, and so I have no idea if there's going to be like a most popular name that comes up, because I don't know if there's going to be no two same names, you know, given in the comments, so I'm just going to pick one that I enjoy from the suggestions. It doesn't necessarily have to be the most popular one or most commented name. So this year, I'm happy to announce that all of us in Kendopolis will be giving the gift of sea turtle conservation with an organization I have participated in firsthand, and that's so amazing to me. So I thank you, everybody. Just your views, presuming you don't use ad blockers, shame on you if you do. Just your views, however, will give the monetary donation, and I will basically just be the courier to give it to them. So really, this is all of you helping me to donate to an amazing wildlife conservation effort and to bring positivity, even in the wake of evils in this world, like the actions of a few on September 11th. So thank you. I really, really appreciate it. I can never say it enough, even though I say it practically every episode that I do of anything. But I love everybody out there in Kendopolis. I love all of you who are viewing this. You mean so much to me, and your support is very important. So I will, of course, catch you on the next vid, and remember to follow the Dr. Kendo Facebook and Twitter pages for updates on what happens with this, as well as, you know, I posted almost a year ago about the World Wildlife Fund and all of that, so you get to see a lot of the behind the scenes and the little prizes and things that we get from these epic donations. But of course, I'll sign off by saying, thanks for viewing.